What's happening, YouTube? Anthony on Power Rangers Lost the Galaxy fan film with a brand new Lost the Galaxy 2014 review. So today we're continuing my wrapping up of Power Rangers in Space in Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection. And today we are definitely doing Cassie as Pink in Space. So here she is, y'all, because, you know, now that we're finishing up, and even though since I do have, in fact, Lost the Galaxy Pink Kendricks, so we got Power Pink. So once I open up Cassie as in Space Pink, then we have Lost Galaxy Pink together, Power of Pink, and knowing that on the anniversary since Power of Pink aired on November the 5th of 1999, and today I was going to save this video on November the 5th to accommodate the anniversary of the airing of the Power of Pink, but what the heck, or just hours ahead of the anniversary of the airing. So anyway, so now that In Space is coming together and finally got both female Rangers, Ashley and Cassie. Now this figure I am definitely going to have to take some nitpicks on, because as much as I like Cassie and I like her as the Pink Ranger, but I'm going to take some notes on what Hasbro did with the figure, because long before I ever wanted this figure, I've already made some nitpicks about, before getting the figure in hand, that there was going to be some serious QC issues on the shades of pink, which I've did foreshadow talking about in past Pink Ranger reviews in for the Lightning Collection, and I will delve into those issues as I go over her figure. Okay, so here's the front of the package featuring the Pink Ranger with all her accessories: Astro Blaster, her satellite stunner, interchangeable hands, and a lightning effect piece, and also Cassie's civilian head. Then you got artwork on both sides of her, and then now for some reason the figure render has the visor exactly how it should be, but on the actual figure, well, we'll delve into that. With that being said, let's rock it. Okay, now that we got the Pink Ranger out of the package, let's go over all her accessories, and then let's see how she stacks up with the rest of her comrades. So we have interchangeable hands with a karate chop hand. I think she's like the only Space Ranger to have a karate chop hand. I'll see about for the other ones later. Yeah, she has Cassie does have a karate chop hand, and then you have a balled fist that you want to switch out in case, but she only has just one balled fist. I'm like, really? Dang, and when Carlos only had one balled fist and one open hand, which wasn't even the right direction of all things anyway. So I don't understand why the heck they didn't even get that right. Then we take a look at her satellite stunner, which already has the lightning effect piece in it. So the lightning effect piece is this little small circle thing, like a lightning effect, like it's blowing, any waves coming out of the satellite. And yeah, that's a cool effect. It matches well with the satellite that's on the gun. So, it's very, very authentic. And I do like this lightning effect piece, because we hardly have anything new other than the same old effect pieces. And I do like the satellite stunner, and, good shade of pink on this, and silver, and the black for the handle. So that's all nice and done. Then the Cassie head. Now, I know the fandom has belovedly nicknamed this the iCarly head, like as if it looks like Miranda Cosgrove. Well, to be honest though, it's still Patricia Jolie who played Cassie. Everybody keeps saying it looks like freaking Miranda Cosgrove from iCarly, before that Drake and Josh on Nickelodeon, but no way in heck this looks anything like her. But it's still Patricia. I mean, all the shades and all the angles of her face sculpt, so it's very on point to how she always. Yeah, Cassie has always had hairstyles like this during In Space, so it's very fitting to her character, and it's on point too, because she is one of my favorite female Rangers and one of my favorite Pink Rangers in general. Now we need to talk about the In Space Pink figure, because there is some QC issues I definitely need to address at this review, and this is what's going to weigh the figure down a lot for me. First, I gotta take a look at the visor. The visor on the render, it looked very on point to how the helmet always looked, but in some angles it looks more like they trying to replicate either the black or the yellow Ranger helmets, and not looking like how Pink in Space's helmet has always looked. Next is how long they made the neck. I mean, compare that to like yellow with Ashley. Like, Ashley's neck is about right, but why did they made Cassie's neck longer? Her neck ain't supposed to be a little like 2 inches long like that, when as opposed to like with Ashley. Like, what the heck, Hasbro? What was y'all thinking when y'all made the neck on her so long like that? It's just weird. like really weird. Next, we need to talk about on the colored squares on the chest of her suit, by where her breasts are. The squares on her, you know, suit is very uneven. But what's worse is that, and what's also even insulting, they made the pink square, since Cassie is the Pink Ranger, they made the square on her suit very small as opposed to black, red, yellow, and blues squares on her suit. It's just dead wrong, man. When like, let's look at Ashley's suit. Her suit, you know, may be imperfect too, but at least the squares are more coordinated as they should be. But why is it for Cassie? Why did they made the suit so uneven on the squares? What the heck? Next, they even made the white areas on the shoulders of the suit uneven. That's just, what the heck? It's like, were they that scared to make it more accurate and on point? I don't understand. I mean, like, again, let's also pull out Carlos. You know, the white on the shoulders is on point, at least, and more true to the show. But why did they made, like, it feels like there's very little white on her arms. I don't understand. I really, it just boggles my mind. But then you gotta look at the inconsistent shades of pink. Now, pink is accurate on point. The shade of pink is on point on the arms. So on the legs, but around her abdomen and the skirt of the suit, no, because it can look a little purpley pink or magenta pink, however you like to look at that shade of pink, but it's just not accurate and on point. And I think that's what makes Cassie's figure very, like, what the heck do they do? Like, the figure, I mean, again, Pink in Space is one of my favorite suits, you know, Pink Ranger suits, but the way how you did her suit is just, it's just what they did is just criminal. I'm talking about Hasbro. What they did was criminal, man. Like, what is it that you can't get Pink Rangers right, but you can do everybody else right? Red, blue, yellow, etc. Why can't you get them right some of the time? But again, they just, I swear there was some chipped paint somewhere, especially some chipped paint around any of the white areas of the suit. Well, I must be wrong. And then here's her Astra Blaster. Notice that that little red dash on the blaster looks a little smaller compared to the others. But at least the blue is fine, and very little gold on, you know, the coin of the emblem, the team emblem on the blaster. So there you go. That's about it. It's just sad to say, folks, but you know, I'm just really disappointed. Like, as much as I like In Space Pink, but the some of the proportions can be a little off, and some of the sculpting is a little off. QC is off. But again, I mean, well, as long as I completed the team, but it's just some parts of her is just a little off. I just don't understand why. Okay, now let's take a look at her articulation for what's it worth. Head joint is just like this, since her neck is very longer than the others. And I swear, it's just looking at her helmet sculpt makes her look almost like Andros's helmet. Then her head looks, you know, her head can turn left and right and up and down. Then you got the butterfly joints. Butterfly joints is okay. It's good for what it's worth. Elbow crunch is good on the figure, on the arms. But I also noticed that her arms is a little smaller, like, compared to Ashley's arms. But, like, again, comparing her again, it's just like, man, they just did Cassie dirty in terms of how they sculpted her figure. It's just real dirty. And then here's the abdomen crunch, and I say, like with the Black Ranger, Pink in Space's figure with the abdomen crunch has a much even louder snap on the abdomen when you crunch her abdomen and chest. So there you go. Then legs, so due to the fact she has a skirt, you can lift her legs up, lift it up. And then knee crunch was a little difficult. But okay, I got it on this leg, but I'm scared to break this knee though. And so here's the knee crunch on her leg here, and then knee crunch on this leg about here too. So that's how her articulation is. That's what made the figure, you know, get weighed down a little bit. Is just they really didn't keep the pink very consistent. I say that of all the Pink Rangers I have in the Lightning collection, Cassie has the most inconsistent shade of pink I've ever seen. Now let's see how she stands with her other Rangers for this team. You know, we got Andros, got Ashley, and Carlos. So now that leaves Zane and TJ left, and then I've already completed the team. So that's it for In Space Pink. But all I can say is, Of the figures for this group, while I do love the team, but if there was a figure that is definitely the weakest of the bunch, easily in Space Pink. But even though Cassie is still one of my favorite Pink Rangers, I like Cassie, but I just didn't like the way how some of her sculpting and some paint details were done on her figure, especially on the chest of the suit. And then on the helmet looking nearly almost looking like either the black or yellow Rangers, like I said. But they just couldn't keep it together for some reason. It's just wrong. But still managed to get the team together. So tune in later when I do now TJ, but things will get better when we get to Blue, True Blue to the rescue and all. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time.